Got my little notes here, so cute. I'm out here in Washington Park. There's no roses in the garden because it's winter. I'm very nervous to make this video because this is a part of my life that I didn't expect to share, but I just hope that it helps someone else and makes them feel less alone. Time is so fascinating to me. I've always been very appreciative of time just because it's something you can't really get back, and it's something that you can only spend and not make more of. I knew a year ago I would be in a much different place, but I wasn't quite sure what that looked like. A year ago, I wanted to kill myself. It's a scary thing to think about because it was a very fragile moment in time, and the only thing that was getting me through it was me today.
What a 5150 hold is when you are put in the hospital because one of the professionals or yourself thinks that you are a danger to yourself, a danger to someone else, or gravely disabled. And so they place you on this hold, which is a 72-hour hold or a 3-day hold in the hospital.
I kept thinking, what am I going to be doing a year from now? I need to live for that. And that's honestly what kind of kept me going. A little over a year ago now, October 2020, I was a 5150 case. I didn't know what was going to happen to me, and my family legitimately thought that I wasn't going to be able to take care of myself. I almost moved back in with my parents. I couldn't perform my job. Let me paint the picture for you. I was working at a job I absolutely dreaded. I was at an all-time low, and on top of that, I was living with someone who made me feel shitty about myself. Nothing felt real. And the best way I can describe that is I felt like I was not living fully. I don't know if that makes any sense.
The cops called a 5150. They talked to
How
you.
did they call that?
Because they talked to you and saw your frame of mind, and you were talking very erratically and stuff. And Dad also told them that you hadn't slept for quite a few days. You were supposed to be on meds.
Mm.
So they called a 5150, which is psych ward.
This all happened in California. This didn't even happen in Portland. This happened in Sacramento. Stopped taking my medication, and I was manic, and my family didn't know how to deal with me. I thought my dad was gonna rape me, so I called the cops on him. I was trying to get away from him. He wasn't letting me leave the hotel room we were at. I was very paranoid.
Dad's freaking out. He was really distraught. Because number one, the accusations.
Yeah.
It scared him. That's probably the one time I almost seen him cry.
Really?
Yeah. And I could just see in his eyes, it was just anguish.
I did a lot of things that I regret. I'm not usually one to say that, but a lot of the things I did when I was manic, I regret. I texted a lot of people. I told this guy that I was in love with him, and he proceeded to tell me he had already moved on and he was happy in a relationship. Another thing that I regret is the way I talked to my dad. I went and got a tattoo, and I got blacklisted from that tattoo artist because of the way I was acting towards him. My parents tried to make sure I was taken care of. They always do.
You were telling me that I put you in there, that it was my fault you were there, and it's like I was trying to explain to you, no, you put yourself in here, Emily.
Right.
You said you wanted to kill yourself. When you do that, I was explaining to you that every time you say you want to kill yourself, that's one more day.
I appreciate them for being so patient with me through that hard time.
So then you wanted to come home, and I said, you can't. They're going to send you to another hospital, to a psych ward. And you're like, what's that? And I said, well, it's where all the crazies are.
Mental health is so hard. some people don't understand it, and that's okay, and I get it, but it's a fucking journey. I had to unexpectedly leave my job for 5 weeks.
And I was like super upset. I actually would go out and sit in the car and cry.
Really?
Yeah, because I couldn't do anything for you. No, it was not easy watching you
Not be myself.
not be you.
Yeah. I was searching for something, and I didn't quite know what that was yet, so I started on my spiritual journey. The thing that turned heads and made people kind of question me was I started talking to my dead grandma. I never met her, but I've heard all these amazing stories about her, and I felt like I knew her, so I wanted to connect with her somehow. And honestly, talking to my grandma was weird, but that's what got me through some of the months. What I learned about going through therapy, I've been in therapy for like 8 years now. A lot of my happiness had to come from me. I couldn't find that in my grandma or in love or in my friends and family. It had to come from me. And that was the biggest thing that I got to teach myself this year. I was so mad when I was put into the hospital because I felt like everyone was against me. I felt like no one took me seriously. I mean, why would you? I took my clothes off twice. I don't remember it. And then once I arrived into the psych ward, I didn't know what was going on. Like, I had no clue what was happening. And being in the psych ward was very traumatizing because one of the doctors was flirting with me. He told me I was beautiful. And I kind of took that as like, oh my God, like someone sees value in me. My parents forced me to quit the job that I hated in March of 2021. And they offered their support, and they told me to just do photos full time. I've been doing this, and it has been one of the most scariest things, but so liberating. I can't believe I'm at where I'm at versus where I was a year ago. I'm living in downtown Portland now. It's always been a dream of mine. I wanted to die a year ago. I wanted to die. And I'm gonna cry now. I never thought life could be this beautiful. I'm doing what I love. I have my friends right by my side and my family. I'm the brokest I've ever been. I'm on food stamps. I'm on state insurance. But I'm so grateful and so happy with where I'm at. And I'm so excited to continue this photography journey. So therapeutic, just talking on camera and just getting my feelings out. Like, I've been wanting to do this for a while. I'm so happy I did it.
One thing I do want to say to anyone that sees this, if you have any medical issues at all, be sure to let someone have access to your medical records. Because we weren't on her medical list thing, we couldn't have any say in where she went or what she did. I couldn't come and get her out of the hospital because I wasn't on her list of people that contact people. So just spare your family the grief that we had with Emily over this, because honestly, it was very hard for us because they couldn't tell us stuff because she was over 21 or 18.
Yeah.
So, thank God you're good now.
I know. We did it. I'm in love with life now. And all of its ups and downs. And I'm just so grateful. I'm happy to be here.
At the Dutch Bros on 16222.
Give him the address. He always asks me how my business is going and like how my photography is going and like
people getting married all
the time. Like, I come here like before my weddings that I go to shoot, and he's always here.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Taking orders, taking some drinks.
Can I get a small iced German chocolate mocha with no whip? I feel like this video isn't very moving, and that's kind of what I wanted it to be like, but I smile every time because I love coffee.